Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with another knife review for you. Today we have the Civivi Durus. I apologize. I normally get Civivi reviews out like really quick, but this one came out during Blade Show, so I was kind of occupado at the time, did not get one, and then I really wanted this particular color, and I waited a little while for that to get in stock because I had an inkling this might be a keeper, so I wanted the color that I wanted. But I can say with pleasure, all three colors of this, which are this gray, a brown, or an orange, are available and in stock at whitemountainKnives.com for $65.05. If you want to use my discount code, I appreciate that, SDWMK at checkout. I don't get anything back out of it, but you get 10% off. So do that at checkout. You get another, what, $6.50 off. Even I can do that math, 650.5 cents. So yeah, go check that out. And use that discount code if you want to. Again, they all are in stock. Before we get started here, I do want to give a shout out to my Patreons. I've been pushing that a bit more, and I'm trying to be better about remembering to shout people out. So these are just some of the recent ones. I'm going to do a few here and there, but you guys have been awesome with it. I do appreciate it. So just going to pick 5 random ones here. Thanks a lot to Gabriel Winner, Alan Libby, Jason Brackett, Zach Kersey. That's Zach's stuff here on the YouTubes. You should go check him out also. And Ryan Ryder has been a very long time Patreon. So thank you guys so much for checking that out. There is a Patreon link down below if you want to help support the channel. I am starting to add more stuff to that. You get early access to for sale videos, and I'm going to be doing some exclusive content there. I actually just recorded one today, but it requires some editing, so it'll probably be the next couple days before that gets up. Now, let's move on to review this knife. This is one of the newest of the Civivis. I always hesitate to say the newest Civivi because next week there's probably going to be another one. So they come out with a whole lot of knives. Great budget brand from We Knives. Made in the same factory as your expensive We Knives. This is kind of a stubby little bruiser of a knife in some ways, but not in some others. It's a pretty cool design. You're getting D2 steel, G10 handles. As I said, available in 3 colors. I'll have the gray liners. There's none of the bright color liners. They seem to be getting away from that. Nice deep carry pocket clip. All very nice T8 hardware. I love that Civivi does that. They do a really good job with their hardware, and it's all really nice. Very well put together. Fit and finish is great. As far as the looks go, I really like the look of it. As I said, it looks like a stubby little bruiser, maybe more than what it actually is. But the only branding you really have is just the Civivi logo on the pivot. That's about it. I'm sure there's a blade marking here somewhere. Oh, there it is. I found it. I couldn't find it. I even had this knife apart and I couldn't find it. You can see there's one little D2. I don't know if, yeah. One little D2 marking on the blade. That's it. They do a really good job of hiding their blade markings. It's always kind of a treasure hunt, when you get one. It is tip up right hand, left hand carry. Pretty cool looking design in my opinion. I like this. I like the brown. Even the orange doesn't look that bad to me. I'm not really a fan of orange knives, but if you are, they do have a fairly bright hunterish orange. G10 backspacer. Now, I really like the look of it, and the quality is typical Civivi. It's, centering spot on. It's everything is good. Lockup's good. That you're getting. It looks a bit early, but it isn't. It's fully engaged there, so that's good. Yeah, it's very well put together, as you'd expect. You get the usual Civivi stuff, the pouch and all that stuff. I'm not going to show that again because it's a waste of time. I show it in all the other Civivi videos. But really well put together for 65 bucks. Not bad at all. I know you can get D2 for cheaper, but the Civivi quality is that little much better. That I have no issues with the price whatsoever. Let's do some stats and size comparisons before we move on too much farther. We have an overall length of 6.9 inches, a blade length dead on 3 inches, so shouldn't cause too many problems in most areas as far as legality goes. Blade thickness, pretty thin, 0.12 inches. You have, excuse me, a handle thickness of 0.55 inches and a weight of, according to my scales, 3.7 ounces. They claim 3.67. It's just a smidge more close, but you don't quite get the golf clap. Size comparisons, we'll do a couple of our usuals here first, and one of these usuals is going to apply much more than the other. We have your Spyderco Paramilitary 2. You can see it's quite a bit smaller than the PM2, but one that compares a lot more to it. And I may do a comparison video before. The weights are different, but other than that, prices and all that stuff, fairly similar. Your Spyderco Para 3. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to see a little comparison between these two. Because I could envision a scenario in which someone was debating between these two when you're looking to go buy a new knife. So, and then we'll move these two out. I'm going to bring us some more 3-inch knives, because that's really where this thing lives, or approximately 3-inch knives anyway. And then a couple of other of its Civivi stablemates. You have your CRKT P-Large, or the large Pilar, just a smidge bigger than that. This is also D2. Another knife I can do a comparison between. Maybe that would be more appropriate. I don't know. Again, let me know in the comments. You have your Spyderco Sage 5. Haven't had this on the channel in a while. Just a little bit stubbier than that. And then lastly, as far as non-Civivis, we will bring out your steel wheel cut jack. This is the mini 3-inch size cut jack. Very, very, very similar in size to that. In a lot of ways, this knife does kind of remind me of that. And lastly, just real quickly, just a couple other Civivis that I have here. We have your Anthropos. You can see it's just a little smaller than that, and it's going to be a bit smaller than this, I know, but the Backlash, which the Backlash is coming back in stock again, and then some different variants also. So if you are a Civivi fan and wanted a Backlash, keep your eye out. There are some more coming back in stock. Slightly different things with them. There's one with some carbon fiber. I think there's a Damascus version. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. All right. Now let's talk more about this knife specifically. First up, the most important part of a knife, I always say, the blade. Yeah, this is a good one. D2, I know some people are getting kind of sick of D2. Can't honestly say I'm not amongst you. But Civivi Wii's D2 is pretty good. Now, a lot of people think that D2 is a new thing for Wii, but they did it under their own name for quite a while before they started putting in all these Civivi knives. They know what they're doing. Their D2 is usually pretty solid. A nice hollow grind. I do like that. Pretty thin blade stock. And it's only like 18 thousandths behind the edge. They do seem to put a bit thicker behind the edge on their D2 than they do on like the 9CR and the VG10 and stuff. But on this, man, it's a nice hollow grind. It's a really good slicer. It's excellent. Quite impressed with it, actually. It's very, very good. You do lose a fair amount of cutting edge to that front finger choil, if that matters to you. But you still get a pretty good tip on it. It's going to be hard to show you because of the swedge, but it is a pretty decent tip on there. It's not a big, thick, robust tip, but it ain't bad. Perfectly fine for EDC kind of stuff. Nothing I'd worry about snapping the tip off unless you're doing something stupid, which, you know, we all do sometimes. But yeah, it's I really like the blade on it. I think it's a very good. I love the hollow grind. I'm a big hollow grind fan. As I said, they do a good job with their D2. I like the blade shape in general. Nothing super complicated. I wouldn't mind a bit more flat, but kind of the way the design of this knife, I kind of get that it would be harder to do that. It is pretty much all belly, but I really like it. It works well. Ergonomically, also works very well. The forward finger choil is definitely the way you're supposed to use it. They do definitely, I think, intend on you choking up on this knife and using it choked up, and it works great. It's super comfortable. Pocket clip's not a hot spot. You can kind of feel that the ramp, but it's fine, not a big deal. The only ergonomic complaint I have is I wish they crowned the spine a little bit here, only just because your thumb does want to rest there, and it's not sharp, but it is thin, and you can kind of feel that. I think if they crowned it a little bit, that might be a little bit nicer, but that's really such a minor ergonomic complaint. Even if you do not choke up on it, I can still get all 4 fingers on it. It doesn't look like you would, but you can. I have skinny fingers, but still, I can get all 4 fingers on it, no problem at all. No issues there. As far as the carry, it also carries very well. You know, the handle's a bit thick, keep that in mind, but it does, the pocket clip works well, slides in and out well, pocket tension is great. On that G10 with all those little stripies, I kind of worried that it was going to be a bit of a pocket destroyer. It does not seem to be. Very little knife sticking out, and especially in this gray color or the brown, it would be super discreet. And getting your hand past it, it's a little tall, but it's nothing that bothers me. You got the flipper tab sticking out, but there's nothing sharp to catch your pinky or anything like that. It's still super easy to carry. I really enjoyed carrying it. It's not like a world beater awesome carry, but it's pretty damn good. You can't complain with that. Action, I mean, I hate to just be a broken record, but every time I review Civivis, I'm like, yeah, it's a Civivi, it's good. You know, the detent's excellent. Listen to that rocket out. Very satisfying sound there. It's not completely drop shutty, I think, just because the blade's so small and thin that you just don't have enough weight for it to really propel itself, but it is very smooth. No doubt there. It does take a bit of a shake to get it shut, though, and I have torn this apart and lubed it and all that. It's got the KPL on the bearings and the KPL heavy on the detent ball, but yeah, it's good. It's a very satisfying action. It's not quite fidgety, but again, I say that I think that's just because the blade's so small. But zero issues with the action on it at all. Yeah, great job. Flipper tabs, comfortable to use, little jimped in just the right place. Yeah, no complaints there. That's kind of my conclusion with this knife. I have almost no complaints. I really, really like it. It might be my favorite Civivi. I have not watched. I've intentionally not watched anyone else's full video on this, but I did see Knife Beater, I think, said in his title, maybe my favorite Civivi. Yeah, it might be mine too. I do still really like the backlash though, and the backlash is a bit excuse me, a bit less expensive. And I do still really like that. But yeah, this is nice. And what I like about it is it has that feel and that look of these big chunky, you know, small knives that are so popular right now, which I like those. I do have several of them. But it's not heavy. It's 3.7 ounces. Is it heavier than, you know, that Magic 3 ounce, you know, or ounce per blade, you know, ratio? Yeah, but not dramatically so. And that's something that I don't know. I don't notice it as much as you'd think, but as summertime comes around, maybe you'll notice it a bit more. But it's very comfortable in the hand. It's got a bit thicker handle. So for the extra ounce, you are getting a benefit of a very nice, comfortable, thick handle. Yeah, I think it's going to be a hit. I really like it. Again, minor nitpick. I wish it wasn't D2. Not that I have anything against Wii's D2 or Civivi's D2. They do a good job, but there's just so many D2 knives out there. When you put D2 on a knife now, a lot of people are expecting $40, $50, and it's $65. But I think if you held the knife, you'd see why it's $65 instead of $40 or $50. But I really like their 9CR. I wouldn't have mind seeing this in 9CR for a little less expensive, but that's not the choice they went with, so that's fine with me. But yeah, great construction, great blade, excellent ergonomics, and I like the look of it. And what can you complain about for $65? It's a winner to me. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've been Brian. Have a good one.